Thanks for joining me for another video, guys. My name is Sunny. What if someone says, this is my website, now find me all the possible bugs in it? What would you do? You guessed it right, guys. Today we are going to learn all about bug bounty, all the necessary tools that you need to learn, prerequisites before starting bug bounty, the correct order of learning, where to start, topics to learn, how to approach further step by step. And this is not going to be a plain theoretical tutorial. We will also cover practical aspect as well, how to identify vulnerabilities in a web application and create a report so you can get the idea how things work in real world. Alright, this tutorial is divided into two parts. First part contains the theoretical part where we are going to cover the things that you need to learn before starting the bug bounty. In second part we are going to cover practical side of things, how to find vulnerabilities like XSS, SQL injection, remote file inclusion, LFI, etc. and how to create report of discovered vulnerabilities, and further we'll discuss all the necessary tools you need to learn. So let's talk about the things that you need to learn before starting the bug bounty. Since bug bounty is all about finding bugs in a web application, you need to learn how a website works before you can find vulnerabilities in it, right? It is important to understand the website's architecture. So start with HTML. HTML tags are easy to learn. HTML tags are building blocks of a website. HTML tags are absolutely easy to understand. In fact, it is easiest among all the prerequisites. Along with HTML, learn a little bit CSS. It is not necessary for bug bounty, but it helps. JavaScript is absolutely essential to bug bounty and web programming. For now, this is the only language that all the web browsers understand. Invest good amount of time in learning core JavaScript. Remember, you don't have to be the master of JavaScript, but you should know how code works and you should be able to analyze and debug the code. Along with JavaScript, learn XML as well. There is big bonus in learning JavaScript in detail. You can develop modern web applications with it. So it is going to open new opportunities, guys. You can be a web developer and bug bounty hunter at the same time. After learning basics of HTML, CSS and JavaScript, build a small website to test your skills. With this way you will get the idea how real world applications work. Learn basic Linux commands to get familiar with it. Most of the web application testing tools are open source and works fine on Linux. Linux is absolutely vital, guys. When you deploy a website on a cloud host, you will need at least basic Linux command line skills to deploy a website online. Once you get familiar with command line, you can try your hands on shell scripting. It is not necessary, but it is very helpful if you want to be a cybersecurity professional. SQL is extremely important. Learn how to create, delete, update, join databases. SQL is a very high level language, very close to English in terms of syntax. So that makes it really easy to learn. Once you learn commands and concepts, you will be able to find vulnerabilities like SQL injection easily, and you can also easily prevent attacks once you understand how things work in background. You must learn one server-side language. I recommend Python. Again, you don't have to master the Python. You just have to understand the logic and code behind pages like login, sign up, etc. and also understand how cookies and sessions are created. Once you understand, then you can easily manipulate and compromise sessions and cookies. You can practice all of it in Python. Now, your question must be, which language exactly should I learn? PHP or Python, or maybe both? Python is a general purpose language. It is used for website development, developing games, machine learning, data science, literally everything. Only area where Python is not popular is embedded system or writing operating system, etc. because it is a bit slower for writing system level programs. Unlike Python, PHP is not a general purpose language. It is specially created for writing server side code or websites, and PHP is by far the most used language for creating websites. 80% of websites are written in PHP. If you ask for my recommendation, I suggest to go with Python. It is general purpose language. You can create hacking tools with Python easily. Remember, guys, almost 95% hacking tools are written in Python. So Python is a preferred language for writing hacking tools. Alright. Learn basic networking concepts and protocols like HTTP, HTTPS, SSH, FTP, TCP/IP, etc. Finally, learn how to deploy a website, how to configure website and avoid misconfigurations, and set up a website in the most secure way possible. This is where your Linux skills will be tested. Again, guys, I am stressing on shell scripting. Learn it. It will help you in longer run. Once you get familiar with the basics, you can start exploring bug bounties. So the first chapter of bug bounty starts with OWASP Top 10. OWASP Top 10 is the list of the most common security vulnerabilities found in a website. OWASP is a non-profit organization. It keeps us updated with the latest vulnerabilities, and also it guides us through how to protect against vulnerabilities. OWASP has produced many fine tools, guys, and we are going to cover one major tool later in the video. So guys, for learning OWASP Top 10 in detail, download PDF file by OWASP. Alright, link is in the description. You will find a detailed guide of OWASP Top 10 vulnerabilities. Kali Linux is the preferred operating system for penetration testing. Reason is very clear. Kali Linux is specially created for cybersecurity. It has all the required tools installed in it. You can use Windows or Mac also, but they are not convenient when it comes to penetration testing, because you have to download and configure all the tools by yourself, and it is time consuming. And honestly guys, all the major web penetration testing tools are open source and they work absolutely fine on Linux. So I have already video on my channel how to install Kali Linux. Alright, go ahead and install Kali Linux. Number one tool on our list is OWASP ZAP. This should be the first line of your attack. It scans for all the available vulnerabilities, and this is the only tool I am going to show how to use in this particular tutorial to get you started. So OWASP ZAP is pre-installed in Kali Linux and Parrot OS. To start OWASP ZAP, open your terminal and type OWASP ZAP and press enter. Click on start. And this is the latest version of OWASP ZAP. You might not see this new feature, manual explore option. If you are using older version, this feature is the latest addition. So to get this feature, type the below command and let it finish and restart your OWASP ZAP. Alright guys, so now click on automatics option. Now this is the box where you need to put website's URL. Alright, so write the website name along with proper protocol like HTTP or HTTPS. And here we have two options to choose from for spidering: traditional spider and then Ajax spider. Select the traditional spider for now and click on attack. Now it has started to crawl the website for URLs. First thing it does, it crawls all the URLs. After crawling all the URLs, then OWASP scans the URLs for possible vulnerabilities. Alright. As you can see guys, after crawling is complete, we have another tab here called active scan. It will start scanning URLs for all the possible vulnerabilities. Now here you can check the scan status from progress bar here. If you want further details of scans, then click on this graph type icon here, and here you can see OWASP is testing our URLs for all the listed vulnerabilities like path traversal, RFI, LFI, SQL injection, XSS and buffer overflow etc. Here you can decide if you want to skip a particular vulnerability, then you can click here. It won't scan the selected vulnerability. So guys, you can see here there are so many vulnerabilities here. They are the major ones, but not all. Alright. It is going to take time to complete the scans. In the meantime, let me show you other useful features that OWASP is offering. So just close the scan window. As you can see, our scan is still to be completed. At the top, click on sites. Under sites, it shows the list of currently scanning or scanned websites. So I am clicking on our current site, and here you can see all the crawled URLs. If you want to get a very specific details of a URL, click on any URL. On left side, click on request tab. It displays information like browser, user used to request the website, URL that you requested, other information like whether its files are already cached or not. The request tab basically shows the page we told through OWASP ZAP to crawl. Alright, so do not get confused here. On our response tab, we have received valuable information like HTTP status code, which is 202. It means request sent by browser to get this page has been accepted. Please guys read more about HTTP status codes like 502 or 404 in detail. And server used for hosting web pages is Nginx and PHP version as well. If you scroll down, you can go through entire source code. Alright guys, if you want to find very specific things, then you can analyze code here. Alright guys, now let's check our alert tab. Click on it. This is where all the vulnerabilities will be listed. Now as you can see here guys, we have plenty of vulnerabilities here, starting with XSS, cross scripting site. So click on arrow button here. These are the pages vulnerable to XSS. click on any URL. All the relevant information will be displayed on your right side, like risk level, which is high. So what I'm going to do here, I will test whether this page is actually vulnerable to access attack or not. So let's open this page in a URL. So right click on URL and open URL in browser. Select Firefox. Now we have this comment box here. Basically, XSS vulnerability allows us to inject our own JavaScript code in website. So let's try a very basic example with our JavaScript code. We will change the background color of site. Alright, our code is ready. Now click on add message. As you can see guys, our background color has been changed to black. In this way you can inject malicious JS code into a web page. Now guys, we can confirm that XSS vulnerability is there in website. So let's get back to our scan. As you can see guys, we have other vulnerabilities like remote file inclusion, and guys, this RFI attack allows us to upload our own code to the server. I will create a detailed video on remote and local file inclusion. Alright, next important vulnerability, which is SQL injection. So click on SQL injection and under tab we have URL vulnerable to SQL injection attack. On right side we have details like exact URL, disk label which shows high. It means SQL injection is executable here. So tool for exploiting SQL injection is SQL map. So guys, under alert tab you can check all the found vulnerabilities. I will create a separate video for each OWASP top 10 vulnerability. My next video will be on manual and automatic SQL injection. You can see here there are other websites listed under this tab. Even though we did not scan them, they are basically linked website to this domain or website that we scanned. Our spider scans everything. So I'm going to stop the scan and proceed further. Now in order to generate a report, click on report and you have options to generate a report in formats like HTML, XML and JSON. But the recommended format is no doubt HTML. With HTML we can see report in browser with good interface. Click on HTML, choose the location where you want to save it. I am saving in desktop and give it a name. I am giving reports. Now as you can see guys, here this is the report. Just go to the location where you saved the file and click on it. Report will be opened in browser like you are seeing here. Now as you can see we have full report here. If you click on high level, it will take you to the detail manual. Here you can analyze the high risk vulnerabilities found in great detail. Alright, so guys, this is the one tool that you should be using for scanning vulnerabilities. Alright, let's go through other tools that you need to learn. SQL map is great for exploiting SQL injection vulnerabilities. Alright, this is a great tool, the most powerful among all available tools for SQL injection, so master it. Next on our list is Burp Suite. It is a hardcore tool for thorough testing. You can intercept proxies and brute force web applications with Burp Suite. It has great spider, sequencer, repeater. Guys, a separate series on Burp Suite is just on the way. So guys, stay tuned and subscribe. It is very important tool, so go for it. Dimitri is an information gathering tool for getting information like subdomains, email addresses, port scanning, and other relevant information. Maltego is another powerful tool for information gathering. It is a graphical user interface tool for in-depth gathering. It gathers information from websites to social media profiles, phone numbers, etc. It is a free tool and pre-installed in Kali Linux. It has a paid version as well, but free works well too. Alright, Accessor is a framework for detecting and reporting cross-scripting site vulnerabilities. It comes in both flavors, command line and graphical user interface as well. So make sure to understand this framework thoroughly. W3AF is another awesome framework for auditing scans on web applications. It does everything from detecting OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities to brute forcing login pages. It also finds vulnerabilities in servers. It maps websites, architecture and directory structure, etc. and it is very powerful tool. So guys, learn W3AF as well. Nikto is used for checking server misconfigurations like outdated versions of applications, hidden pages, valuable information like web servers and its version, subdomains, and it alerts you about vulnerable versions also. So go for it. So guys, these are some major tools you need to master for finding bugs, and all these applications are pre-installed in Kali. So guys, before leaving, let's take a look at some of the important browser extensions. These are two add-ons I personally use: Foxy Proxy and Added This Cookie for cookie manipulation. You can easily install them by visiting add-ons marketplace in both the browsers Chrome and Firefox. Again guys, thanks for taking your time. Like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will see you in my next tutorial.